A detour is like when you're going on one trail and then like you take a side path. So like you can learn something new, which is like what we do in like school, which is like if we get to learn something really well, we'll still do that so we can keep knowing it really well. But then we'll go on detours so we can learn new things.
Welcome to the Detour from Oregon Humanities.
Welcome to Detour of Oregon Humane Society.
Welcome to the Detour for Oregon Humanities.
Welcome to the Detour from Oregon Humanities.
Welcome to Director from Oregon Humanity.
On a hot July day, we pulled up to a bright orange and blue Victorian house, the Gilbert House Children's Museum in Salem. Outside, kids braved the heat, digging dinosaur bones in a sandpit and playing on colorful abstract structures. Inside, they took charge of elaborate make-believe exhibits, from a submarine to a diner to something I couldn't quite understand. When we started to work on this episode of The Detour, we didn't know exactly what it was going to be about. We did know we would talk with kids at the Gilbert House, and after that, we learned we could also talk with kids at Grace Art Camp in Portland. But it was only once we started talking with the particular young people we talked to that we learned what the episode would be about. It would be about learning, or about learning and creativity, or about learning and creativity and joy, and also about school and the summer. These all seemed like good things to focus on as we turned from summer to fall, and with fall to the start of the school year. So let me just say that again, shorter. At first, we didn't know what this episode would be about, and then we did. What stands between not knowing and knowing? Maybe learning. What's learning? That's what we're grateful to all the people at the Gilbert House and Grace Art Camp for helping us explore. Here's what 11-year-old Olivia had to say.
Learning is it's hard to explain, but like learning how to do something that you have never done before, or like learning, it's like discovering new stuff and learning along the way.
What's a thing that you think, I've learned this and here's how I've learned it?
Well, I'm still learning how to draw. So, and I'm still learning new techniques and stuff to do it.
How do you learn new techniques for drawing?
Basically, you're just doodling on paper or whatever medium that you use, and then you discover that looks good, so you keep practicing drawing that, then you learn a new technique.
Like when you think about learning, is that something you're mainly doing on your own? Or are you doing it where there are teachers helping you?
I've been doing drawing by myself for a bit. I also, sometimes I watch YouTube videos about how to do it, but not that often. I just doodle.
It's really just doing the thing and seeing what works and then trying to do more of that?
Yes.
That's cool.
Or looking on other artists and seeing their kind of art.
You ever find learning difficult?
Yes, learning can be difficult. Definitely math.
Math. Why is math difficult to learn?
Because it could just never stay in my brain. When I get it into my brain, after the summer, it's just gone. Or like after a couple of weeks, it's gone.
So you said after the summer. What do you associate with summer? Like, do you think of summer for learning or for other stuff? What's summer for?
Summer's basically for doing whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. So Olivia, we might finish up this interview. I want to ask you, have you heard any jokes lately, or would you want to share a joke or something funny?
Sure. Where'd you leave the chicken with no legs?
I don't know.
Exactly where you left it.
And that's where we'll leave this conversation. So thank you. Olivia, great to talk to you. Thank you for taking time and putting the headphones on.
You're welcome.
My name is Alfie, and I am 8 years old.
Well, tell me a little bit about what's it like to be 8?
Can't really describe it. I'm not really good describing stuff.
Okay. What kinds of things are you learning?
I'm learning writing, science, and math.
Uh-huh. When you say writing, like what are you doing when you're learning to write?
Well, I'm writing new words so I can learn how to write them without needing help.
Words like superficial
No,
or
I'm
like
not on those. I'm like on smaller ones.
like cat?
Yeah, CAT.
So you're working on spelling.
Yep,
Do you like spelling?
a bit. My favorite type of school is math because it's so easy for me.
Math is easy?
Yep.
What's easy about math?
Well, you just gotta add up the numbers in your brain and then you put them on paper.
Okay. What about like multiplying? Are you doing that yet, or you're sticking with adding for now?
I am on multiplication, like 20 times 3
Mm-hmm.
is 60.
Okay, you did that pretty fast. How do you in your head go from 20 times 3 to 60? What are you doing in your head?
So here's what I do. I just memorize what it is, and then I can just say it quickly.
I see. Okay. Maybe we'll move to the end of this conversation. I want to ask you the same question I asked your sister. You got either a joke to share or something funny that you're smiling a little, so maybe you're thinking of something.
I don't have a joke, but I have a riddle.
Bring it.
What is green and blue and moves 1,000,000 miles per hour?
What is green and blue and moves 1,000,000 miles an hour?
The Earth.
Okay. Thank you, Alfie. I'm going to be thinking about that when I drive back home later. Going 1,000,000 miles an hour plus 60 or so. Yeah. So, can you tell us your name again?
Bennett, but I go by Benny.
Benny, how old are you?
6.
What are you doing at Gilbert House? What are you up to here?
Well, today we're just learning about disaster stuff. Learning about volcanoes.
What's a volcano? How do you describe a volcano to someone who doesn't know?
So there's a bunch of rock in the bottom of the earth, and then there's just a bunch of magma that pushes it up, and it creates a mountain. And then there's the magma in the mountain, and then when there's so much magma it's too close to them, when it keeps filling and filling up with magma, it turns into lava, and then it explodes, and the top blows off.
Whoa, that's actually an excellent explanation. Do you think you knew about all that when you were 2 years old?
No.
And now you're 6 and you know all that.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
My head just thought of it.
You're listening to the director with camps in Salem at the Gilbert House Children's Museum.
My name is Kate and I am 11.
What are you up to at the Gilbert House?
So we made a lot of friends here. So every Wednesday we try to meet up with all of them, and then we get to run around and play games together.
Uh-huh. Do you feel like you are learning as much during the summer as you do the rest of the year?
Yeah, our mom makes sure that we still do school so that we don't forget stuff over the summer. And it's also really fun because since we don't have as much school, we get to do other stuff and learn more outside in different places.
Cool. Like if you were going to explain what learning is, how would you explain it?
Learning is kind of like you learn things all the time. So even if you stop doing school, you'd still be learning other things, like how to be a better person or how to tell this from that. And so that you can be better off when you grow up and you don't do like school with your mom or your dad anymore.
How do you learn to be a better person?
So if by making mistakes. So whenever we make mistakes, we get to learn about what we did wrong so we can figure out what we do right next time or how to help ourselves with that mistake. Our mom helps us a lot with that. So she helped us figure out what the problem is so that we can fix it.
So you got to kind of see it, think about it, approach it differently?
Yeah. So another thing, like, you can also try anticipating your mistakes, which works too.
Can you, how do you, like, can you give me an example of anticipating your mistakes?
So, like, if I'm about to, like, do something, like, wrong, I'll usually start, like, feeling bad in my head, and then I'll, like, or notice, and then I'm trying to, like, notice that, so I figure out that's not, like, the thing to do.
That's interesting. You're noticing something inside you. You're paying attention to that. What about with like math or science? Can you anticipate mistakes in math or science the same way with good person?
So it's a little harder, but if you can look at the answer you got, or if you can think over the answer you got, then you can figure out, like, wait, that doesn't look right, or like, how does that work, or like, it doesn't seem to work that way. I'm Luke and I'm 9 years old.
When you're here at Gilbert House, do you feel like you're learning stuff here?
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of things are you mostly doing here when you're here?
Like, friends and us come here on Wednesdays and we like run outside and like do like fastest tagger in the West.
What is fastest tagger in the West?
Fastest tagger in the West is where if you tag somebody before they get to tag you, they sit down and you're still up. So the main objective of the game is to get you to tag everybody.
Do you think you learn stuff when you play fastest tagger in the West?
I mean, you learn what people do for strategies for trying to get you down.
Have you heard a joke over the last couple months that you like, that you would want to share?
I came up with one.
Well, let's hear it.
What did the peanut say to the pecan?
What did the peanut say to the pecan?
You're driving me nuts, since they're both nuts.
Thank you. Thanks a ton. I think we might ask you to switch out with your mom for a second. Yeah. While we talked with Kate and Luke, their mother, Kelly, was standing in the corner of the small room, listening. And given that experience, along with Kelly's role in her kids' education, we asked if she might be willing to put on the headphones as well. So we just talked with two of your kids, who it sounds like you're teaching or you're accompanying as they learn. What do you think about with the educational work you're doing with them?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. I am not their teacher. I am just the learning enabler. And most of the time we're having enough fun that I just try to be a student with them, because otherwise I'm missing out.
How do you enable young people, especially your own young people, to learn?
Mostly by having no formal instruction or idea what I'm doing. My background is in advertising. And when you're trying to get a consumer not just to try your product, but to adopt your product and be loyal for life to your product, you don't tell them, you need to do this because I said so, or you need to do this because you're going to use it someday. You have to entice them. You have to win them over, and you have to, in a meaningful way, show them the value in what you have to offer. So it's essentially just coming up with a different advertising campaign for each lesson and each subject.
That's interesting. I wasn't sure if you meant each lesson or each subject, or if you meant the whole endeavor.
No, you got to have a variety of campaigns or it just gets old.
How did you decide to take this on?
Mostly it had been floating in the back of my mind. There were subjects that never made sense to me in school, and I still got good grades. But it always bothered me deeply that I didn't know why I was getting the good grades. So when I was pregnant with Kate, I started reteaching myself some of the subjects that hadn't made sense, because I didn't want to tell her, I can't help you with this. And in the course of reteaching myself some of the subjects, I found out, oh, these are actually kind of fun. Like, I wish I'd known that back then. And that made me think maybe I'd want to try homeschooling. My husband was horrified. As he pointed out, you have zero background in education. Maybe you should read some of the fundamental literature. And I looked up what that was and started with How Children Learn by John Holt. And reading that as I'm watching this infant develop, it perfectly articulated everything I was observing. And in terms of how Kate was engaging with the world and learning about the world. And that reawakened my own curiosity, which I hadn't realized had been dormant for so long. Mm-hmm. And at that point, there was no going back.
Mm-hmm. Do you know when your formal role in your kids' education will change?
When they tell me it's over.
Will you be asking them to tell you, or will you let them come to it?
We've had many conversations, and actually with Kate recently, telling her, look, you're about to start 6th grade here in Oregon. That's middle school. We can keep doing what we're doing. Or you could go to public middle school, or we could try to find a co-op, or offered her a few other options. And what she told me was, what I'd really, really like is for you to homeschool all my friends. And I said, well, that's not what anybody else wants. As much fun as that would be, I'm pretty sure their parents don't want that either. But maybe we could start doing, maybe I could start teaching a weekly language arts class to which your friends would be invited.
Wow.
And it will be goofy and silly and irreverent. And hopefully their parents aren't too offended by it and want their kids to participate.
Amazing.
So,
how does Gilbert House Children's Museum figure into the educational stuff you've been doing with your kids?
So Gilbert House is the first time in my life where I felt a true sense of community. And I think it's because despite all the research, all the talk about the importance of learning through play, this is the one place I've ever encountered that actually believes that and acts on it. Hmm. And they offer homeschool adventures courses here. So it's a once-a-week class for kids from 5 to age 11. And from teacher Julia, I've not only learned some really good educational techniques, I've learned good parenting techniques. Kate came home when she was probably 7 or 8 from Homeschool Adventures and informed me that if you want Luke's attention, you need to do what teacher Julia does. You need to make eye contact with him before you speak. Wow. She was right. Julia also, when she teaches engineering in her classes, anytime someone's prototype doesn't work, she gives them a sticker and tells them it's a failure sticker. And it's a good thing because every time your prototype fails, you've figured out what to change the next time to make it work. Even little things like there used to be, when we first moved here and started coming with the kids, there was a China exhibit in the first building on the 2nd floor. And there was an abacus in the exhibit. And there was a little sign that explained how to use the abacus. And I had never used an abacus, but as I'm reading the directions and playing with it, this light bulb went off. And I just thought, oh my gosh, why didn't I learn math this way? So I got an abacus, and that's how both kids have learned math. And it's a night and day difference in terms of their understanding of it and mine. And that's all due to an exhibit here at the museum.
Can you, what's learning as you understand it?
I think it's being a bad student. A good student has the right answers. And learning is ultimately about having fun and being curious. And that doesn't always get rewarded.
Kelly, thank you. Thanks for what you're doing with your kids, and thanks for talking with us for a few minutes.
Thank you for giving me some insight into my kids. That was fun.
Okay, good. Thanks.
You're listening to The Detour with campers in Salem at the Gilbert House Children's Museum. To me, learning is doing new things and learning how to do things better. It makes me think of speaking languages.
Knowledge.
School.
Art, because art's a learning thing. Except mom doesn't count it as school.
Teaching.
Whenever I think of the word learning, is like, I don't really know.
What does the volcano tell the other volcano?
What?
I laugh at you.
Okay.
I'm Mika and I'm 8 years old.
You're 8 years old and you're at Gilbert House Children's Museum today. What are you doing here?
Summer camp.
What's the camp?
Oh yeah, science.
Science. What are you doing in science camp? Like what kinds of things?
Today we did geysers just now and with like vinegar and then baking soda, and then you put the baking soda with the vinegar and you have to hold it out and then it'll come out. And there was volcanoes that we made in the sand pit with a empty plastic water bottle and baking soda and vinegar, and then it came out all over the sand.
Okay. So you're doing this stuff over the summer, but then during the school year, were you just in second grade or third grade?
Second.
Second grade. Do you feel like the learning you're doing during the school year is the same or different from the learning you're doing over the summer?
It's kind of the same.
What makes it the same?
You're kind of learning stuff, which is like you learn stuff in school, but it makes it funner than in school. Like they give you an activity to go with it. Like they're teaching you something like with an activity.
I'm Olivia and I'm 8.5.
When are you happiest at school?
Maybe when it's like reading or art.
What do you like about reading or art?
I really like reading because my dad always said to me that if you can read, you can do anything.
Do you think when you're reading, you're learning?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you're learning?
Learning how to read more better.
How do you practice a word? How does that work?
Like you keep on doing it like over and over again.
And then eventually that word ends up working?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just wondering. That's Mika again, off mic, whispering a suggestion to Olivia.
Sound it out. Oh, you sound it out.
I like the coaching. I feel like there's some learning here too. So when you're doing art, because you said that was the other thing you really like, is art easy to learn, hard to learn?
It's not really hard to learn. Like you can just do scribbles and it's basically art.
Like just art?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you think I'm learning when I do that?
Yeah.
You're kind of like learning from your drawing.
So
Like when you like make a mistake, you can like see if you can make it something that you didn't. What am I saying? When you make a mistake, you can fix it into something new that you like.
and that's part of how learning works?
Yeah.
Have you heard a joke recently that you'd want to share?
Yeah. Why can't dogs use the remote?
Why?
Because they always hit the pause button.
Okay. Thank you.
One of our primary goals is building community. I did it as a parent myself, bringing little kids here and having that social time for myself and my kids.
Alicia Bay is the executive director of the Gilbert House Children's Museum, and she's on Oregon Humanities Board of Directors. Zach St. Lawrence is the education coordinator at the Gilbert House. I guess I want to ask both of you about the relationship in your mind between that social time or community and learning. How much are those two distinct from each other? How much are they a part of each other?
For me, they're intertwined because when a child comes here, they're coming with an adult. They drive the car. They choose to come here. And so there's very much the interaction between the adult and the child in how they experience the place, where they go to the rooms, what they identify to play with, or the prompts that are given to them afterwards. We also try to build our exhibits and outdoor spaces in a way that children will intuitively know how to play. And so they'll spontaneously play with each other because they know some of the implicit rules that are there. So if they walk into a 50s diner, one can be the server and one can be the person being at the restaurant and ordering. So we're social creatures as humans. And so when we think about play, it's typically with other people. So if children are going to learn through play, it should be through human interactions.
To add on that, I see our space as available for any age range as well. Like we have kids coming in, like Alicia said, just they know what to do, but they all interact with everything so differently. Some of the little kids are at the most basic level, but then those other older kids start to develop some more reasoning and think things through more and develop their own patterns and habits within our play structures that we have here. And it's fun to watch how all of them still manage to have a great time, but just doing their own thing. And to add on to what you were saying about how education fits into it, it's also informal, but at the same time, it's always there. Like there's always something that they can take away from it. They might not realize they're learning something, but after they go home, they're going to remember that experience and build off that in their own ways.
Question for both of you. When you were a kid, was there a place in your community that did the informal community and learning together particularly well that stands out for you?
For myself, I can't think of anywhere that we had like that. There was no children's museums. This was up in Yakima, Washington. The closest thing would probably have been the library for me. My family spent a lot of time at the library, and it was a little more formal than what we offer here, but that was the closest thing to what I can think of.
I have a distinct memory of probably second or third grade going on a field trip to a children's museum in Los Angeles. And so that's one of the reasons I'm so committed to our field trip programs, because for many children that visit Gilbert House, it's only through those field trip programs that they'll come and see us and experience it. And so we hope to create similar type of memories. And you didn't make me share my age at the beginning, but I'm definitely from that generation that spent a lot of time outside. And so those social dynamics of creating our own games, of creating our own rules in the neighborhood or out on the playground were those experiences that I had. And so this is a safe place where families can come and children can have some of those social interactions that they may have had in neighborhoods or on the playground in years past.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between a school and a museum?
Well, the structure, I mean, just how things are set up in a school, everything is regimented in a way that there's a pattern to how the day goes. Whereas come into the museum here, it's open. You just go do what you want. Wherever your imagination leads, that's what you're going to be doing here. And I've worked in both, and it feels so much more free to work at a place like the Gilbert House, just because I can see kids come in and they lead their own instruction. Essentially, they decide what they want to learn or what they want to do that day instead of being told what they're going to do that day.
So I also have experience teaching in a classroom, and I really enjoy bringing that knowledge and experience to this informal setting. And like Zach was expressing, watching children follow their own curiosity and take those learning experiences that support what they're learning in school or in a homeschool program and in those more formal settings.
Mm-hmm. What about the difference between a museum and a children's museum? What are the things that most stand out to you as distinctive about a children's museum?
We want them to touch and play with everything. And usually at a museum, things are behind glass or are on a wall and are meant to be looked at. And here we design exhibits that are specifically about children manipulating different, we call them props, but different tools that they have to do the learning and growth and play.
The thought process that goes into what you put out is so different between the two, I think. As I'm designing a new exhibit, I buy things and see if they will tear apart. Whereas I don't think that's going to happen at like a history museum. They're not going to see if they can rip their exhibits apart, because we know that's what's going to happen here. The kids are going to get their hands on it and really just have at it. And so we want to design things that are meant to be played with and meant to be not abused, but used.
When you hear the word learning, what comes to mind?
One word answer?
Doesn't have to be one word.
Learning to me is experiencing new things in many different ways. And I hope that's what we provide here.
Taking in new information and being able to retain it, or a new skill. And when you're watching little children, they're doing that constantly. And as a parent and as an observer here at the museum, being able to watch children just grow in their skills and knowledge base on just that daily basis is really amazing.
Do you have a question as you have been going through your days lately related to this work or this place?
Always. And like 27.
So my recent questions have been, okay, how can I build this thing that will engage the kids and help them learn even if they're not sure they are?
Great. Well, listening to the kids talk throughout the day, it's clear they're getting lots of learning, lots of interactive time, lots of joy. And I think they know they're learning too. I just want to.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. So, which is interesting to hear them talk about and reflect on, even at 8 or 11. And so thank you for what you're doing here. Thanks for what you're doing with this place.
I love being here. It's my favorite job I've ever had.
Mine too.
Cool.
Yeah, just so remarkable and so gratifying to hear, like you said, children talk about this place, because as they walk out, they're not going like, hey, thank you very much for that. I learned a lot.
Back in Portland, we joined campers in Northeast at the long-running Grace Art Camp. For almost 30 years, kids from 4 to 12 years old have learned from professional artists, youth, and young adult counselors. That July morning, we arrived just in time for their opening assembly. Good morning. Here's Vincent, a camper, filling us in on what's going on and what this camp is all about.
We first sit down for an assembly.
Hello. Good morning. My name's Ashley.
And they'll like sing songs.
Grace I can, give me a week and I'll be a champ.
And then we'll get to choose what we do for the day, for the first part of the day.
There's art and music and drama and dance, stories and textiles to enhance. My learning curve will go sky high, 'cause all these things I'm gonna try. At Grace I can.
Then we have lunch, and then we go back to the assembly place, and then we get to choose again what we do for the rest of the day.
She likes mosaics, that's glass, by the way. They did calligraphy with ink and a pen. They tried it and they liked it, so they came in that. Grace I can, give me a week and I'll be a champ. At Grace I can, I'm not a lamp, but wherever I go, I'm a glow. At Grace I can.
You are listening to the deck tour with campers in Northwest Portland at Grace Art Camp.
My name is Cosmo, and I'm 7 years old.
My name's Oliver, and I'm 7 years old.
Do you have a favorite thing that you do in school?
Art.
What do you like about art?
It's that my teacher's really, really nice. Her name's Miss Brooke.
What school?
Beverly Cleary.
How about you, Cosmo? How would you answer the question of what you most like doing in school?
I like doing math.
Doing math. What do you like about math?
I don't know, just math, like subtracting and stuff.
You like that? That's good. Numbers, they're good. You got one suggestion for Grace Art Camp? If you could add one thing to the camp, what would you add?
Math studio.
Math studio. Interesting. Awesome. What do you think, Oliver? One thing you could add?
Maybe a skate park because it's a type of art, I guess.
Skate park is a type of art.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What do you think an art is?
Something that is cool and fun
Something that is cool and fun
and kind of beautiful and stuff.
and kind of beautiful. Interesting. What do you think an art is, Oliver?
Like something that somebody made, like a masterpiece or something like that.
Got it. Okay. Do you have a joke in your head that you would like to share? Oliver, hit it.
Oh, what do you call a wolf that's lost?
I don't know.
A werewolf.
What does the ghost eat for his breakfast?
What?
Blueberries.
My name is Nora Morse, and I'm 9 years old.
And what are you up to today, Nora?
I was working in beat making, so we were using a laptop and we were using the app GarageBand and choosing different beats or songs for a playlist, I think.
Do you ever wake up in the morning and go, today I want to learn this?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Yeah. I guess I'm wondering if you think learning happens on purpose or by accident or how those go together.
Sometimes both. On purpose, you can try to learn how to jump rope or something. Or by accident, you can just be fooling around with jump rope and boom, you can jump rope.
Okay. Do you prefer one way or the other way?
No, not necessarily. I think it's sort of a surprise when you do it by mistake.
Mm-hmm. Like a good surprise? What would you say is the biggest differences between what's going on at camp and what's going on at school?
Well, in my opinion, it's more fun. You have more opportunities to be creative and do art and and you have more opportunities to be with friends and talk with friends.
Mm-hmm. This may be a strange question, but when you say more opportunities to be creative, can you explain what you mean by be creative?
Trying to be yourself and putting yourself into your art or whatever you're doing.
I actually love what you just said there.
My name is Zoe, and I'm 6 years old.
How are you spending today? What classes or activities are you doing today?
Well, we were making salmon drawings, and then we were gonna put watercolor on them.
Do you think you're getting better at drawing the more you do it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're doing the thing, and every time you make a mistake, you can learn from that mistake.
That's it. Can you think of a mistake that you made drawing that you learned from and did better the next time?
One time I forgot to do hair when I was drawing me and my mom.
How'd that look?
I don't know.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
What's your name?
Lorelai.
Lorelai, my name's Adam. You're
Hi.
going straight to the headphones, huh? You're not waiting at all.
No, I'm not.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Lorelai, how old are you?
8.
How's it going?
Good.
You like 8?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
I like being young.
I hear you. I totally hear you. What do you like about being young?
I like being young because you don't get like eye bags under your eyes.
Are you saying that because you're looking at me?
No. It'll just be like droop, droop, droop.
When do you stop being young? Like, is there an age when you stop being young?
40.
40. How did you say that with such certainty?
Mm.
You just know it?
Yeah.
Do you think, in addition to the thing with your face and the bags and stuff, do you think you learn more when you're young or when you're over 40?
Over 40. You learn more over time.
Why do you say that?
The more older you get, the more wisdom you get. You learn more things as you get older. Like, you learn that you gotta get old sometimes.
But you're 8 and you already know that.
I know.
How did you learn that already?
My parents are very smart, so.
Do you think you learn from your parents?
Yes.
I got to ask you this because I think I know you're going to have something. Do you have a joke you'd want to share with us? Any jokes in your head you'd want to share?
I actually do have a riddle.
Bring it.
What can clap but has no hands? The answer is thunder.
Okay. Hi, I'm Theo Huguet, and I'm 11 years old.
Hi, I'm Vincent Gann, and I'm 12 years old.
Do you know that your names are the names of 2 brothers, artist brothers? You know that?
Yeah.
Who?
No.
Okay, you want to explain what you know about that?
So there's Vincent van Gogh, and then there's Theo van Gogh, and they're 2 artists.
How did you know about Vincent and Theo Van Gogh?
I just heard it somewhere. Like, I remember I was like with my parents, and I was like, yo, Vincent, you're Vincent van Gogh. And then my parents are like, you know that Vincent van Gogh and Theo van Gogh are 2 artist brothers. And I'm like, really? That's cool. And that's how I found out.
What are you up to today? Like, how are you spending the day?
I'm going to start with some glass art, which is we're making animals. And then I'm going to try to get into fiber art, which is like kind of like getting like cloth and like making cool stuff.
Vincent, how about you? What are you thinking for the day?
I'm also doing glass and fiber art.
So when you wake up in the morning, do you think like, it's Thursday, I'm going to learn today? Do you ever think something like that?
Sometimes, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yo, like I think I'm going to choose like glass today or something like that. I do think that. I'm also like, yeah, sometimes, but not like every single day, just like, yeah, sometimes.
If you weren't going to school and you weren't going to camp, how would you spend your days? And this question for both of you.
Definitely, I would love hanging out with friends like Vincent and like a lot of my other friends. And I also like to play video games online with them because we love interacting like online. And also we like I like going to like Oaks Amusement Park and like stuff like that.
I hear that. Yeah. How about you, Vincent? What do you think?
Same with him. I also would like to spend time with like friends, or also play video games with friends because video games are fun.
Yeah.
And also go outside with friends.
Any joke in your head that you want to share with us?
I recently got a dog from the local blacksmith. When we got home, he made a bolt for the door.
I have one in mind. It's pretty classic. Why'd the chicken cross the playground?
Why?
To get to the other slide.
Okay, so I'm 8 years old, and my name is Genesis Williams.
How's it feel being 8 years old?
It feels fine. I feel taller, and I feel like older.
How does camp feel different from or similar to school?
It feels similar because I have to wake up early, and because we have to do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Are there any ways that camp feels different from school?
It feels different because it's not the same thing as school, but it's kind of like school, but not really. Because the counselors are younger and there's more
teachers than a normal school.
When people say the word education to you, that big word, education, what does it make you think about?
It makes me think about math and learning things.
Do you have favorite subjects at school?
I like music
Did you sing along with the songs this morning and all of that?
sometimes.
How do you decide when to sing along?
If I know the song really well, I will. But if I don't, then I won't.
How do you learn a song?
How I learn a song is I listen to it a few times. So then I get to know the lyrics. And then I might try to sing along. But if I can't, then I'll just listen to the lyrics more.
You're listening to The Detour with campers in northern Portland at Grace Art Camp. The word that comes to my head when I hear the word learning is a pool. Math or reading.
How to ride a bike.
Science.
I think of creative.
The word that comes to my mind when you say learning would probably be reading.
Math.
I don't really think of any words except for the word learning.
So we make a podcast called The Detour. And sometimes we talk to young people, especially, like the kind of people you're working with. And this one, we're sort of thinking about things like learning and art and that sort of stuff. So that's what we're going to ask you some questions about.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. So for starters, can you just say your name and how old you are?
My name is Maria, and I'm 15 years old.
Maria is one of a group of counselors in training working with Grace Art Camp this summer. How are you spending the week this week, Maria?
I've been spending it taking care of the Orange Pod, which has been really fun getting to know all the little kids.
What's the Orange Pod for people who don't know?
They're the ages 4 and 5. Yeah.
So you got a group of 4 and 5-year-olds that you're responsible for?
Yeah.
What are you doing with them?
We do fun activities around the camp. We go like to T-shirts, to glass.
So one of the things we've been asking even much younger people about is like how they learn. Do you feel like you're learning stuff this summer?
Yeah, I'm learning how each kid, like not everybody like has the same emotions. Everybody like controls their emotions differently, and which is one way like you realize that there's many ways to help the students. They're not going to be, you can't all help them the same way. Like you're going to have to help them like in a way that they're going to be comfortable.
How are you learning that general principle of needing to adjust? Like how did that get so clear for you?
When I realized my 7th week coming here, like the first week when I came, everybody was like not shy. Like everybody got comfortable around each other like that quick. But this week, like it was the same again. Like some of the kids got comfortable, but some of the kids were like getting really like they would get scared like to get around those kids. And, like you got to teach them that it's all right. Like everybody's nice here. They're going to welcome you. Yeah.
So that actually seems like a kind of hard thing to teach because it's a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
How do you teach something like that?
Teaching them like if you need help, you can always go to like one of your little friends. Like they'll help you in a way. Like you shouldn't be shy. Everybody's here to help. Like for example, us, the CITs and the counselors, like we do it with each other since we all met like this week. Like, yeah.
What do you think? You want to talk a little bit?
I don't know. Today the listening is good.
The listening's good. Amy Gray is the outgoing executive director of Grace Art Camp and a longtime arts educator in Portland and Hood River.
just listening to you talk to all these campers and counselors is just like, yes, I'm in the right place.
So let me ask you about that. Why? What do you mean?
I mean, I think there's just always the question of where to be, what to be doing in the world. And I think formal education and being a classroom teacher is always sort of the dangling, like maybe should have gone that path. But listening to kids talk about their experience in out of school programs is always so heartening because it's like, oh, they're learning so much and they're loving it. And that's where I am beside them. But it's also when you're in a nonprofit and you change roles a lot, there's not sort of the security maybe that being in the public school system would provide. So you're always kind of wondering, well, if I'd done that, would that have been a safer route? But it's great to do this.
You said they're learning a lot and they're loving it.
Yeah.
And those are two different things, but it sounds like you see them as going together. Can I just ask you about, in your mind, the relationship between learning and that feeling of loving it?
Yes. Well, the first thing I think of is just the flow and that whole concept of when you're enjoying the learning, then you can meet the challenge and meet the potential like mistake making or failures, or when things don't go how you had hoped they would go, but you're in it enough to keep going, to like struggle longer. And then learning starts to really happen because then the new information is coming. So, but if you're not loving it, it could be really hard to stay with the path of learning. Yeah.
What feels most challenging to you about helping shape the day for 117 or 162 campers?
I guess the most challenging thing has sort of disappeared now because I think for a long time I felt like it was up to me to figure out how to shape the day. And over the last 4 years, I realized that everybody is shaping it every minute of every day together. And pretty much they're doing it the same now as they were doing it 10 years ago, probably, and 4 years ago. And I'm just sort of trying to remove any obstacles that could get in the way. Like if there's a leaf blower, I can go and talk to the person about potentially waiting 10 minutes. You know, they look to me to like, this leaf blower is like crowding out the storyteller. That's my moment. But other than that, I'm just hanging around.
What is different for you about hanging around a summer program as distinct from a classroom?
Oh, well, I'm not sure because I've never taught in a classroom as the teacher year round. So I think the relationship building is something that I miss. Like I don't know what it's like over 9 months to get to know 30 kids deeply and be their like person. And so I feel like that's something I don't ever know. But I feel like what I see is just that teachers can never stand back. They're always on. And here, because of the structure with all these really astute 15-year-old volunteers who want to be here and give all this time, and then 16, 17, 18-year-old counselors, and they're all paid to be here. It's their first job. And so they're like counting on their first chance to have authority of any kind, really. And then the artists, everybody's just holding everybody else. So it's like nobody's alone. So I don't feel like anybody feels too much pressure. And so the campers feel safe. And then the campers mostly, navigating their own learning journey. So everybody's just kind of hanging out.
Just kind of hanging out, feeling comfortable, attached to other people, therefore able to do some learning.
Exactly.
I want to go back to the experience of you've been bringing campers over either singly or in pairs, and then you've been listening. And what's most been standing out to you as you listen to them talk about their experience here?
I mean, every single one of them said something wonderful, something that was just this little gem. And I'm like, oh, how can I hold on to each of those little gems for each of these little people? And like realizing, kids I've seen every year for 4 years who are just like getting taller and older every year. But, and then kids who I've never met before this year that feel already so much like they have a sense of belonging here. It struck me that this idea about learning is so tied to math and reading for kids that we've like kind of gotten in there with our public school system to really solidify that math and reading are the most important things, or that they actually equate to learning. Because there are so many other words and they're doing so many different things here. But also like a suggestion that we add more math. And so I'm like, math is in art every second. It's always part of everything. It's all integrated. So it's just interesting how we pull things out and then attach them to concepts. That strikes me.
Do you remember when you were like 10, what subjects or what you liked to do at school?
Oh, I think I've always liked to do the things that felt the most creative and free. So art making, theater, acting, singing, like those things always felt safe and easy because they were just natural. So I think I struggled with math. But I think, yeah, it was probably a lot like it is for them.
Mm-hmm. Are you, like today or end of the summer, do you think you'll carry a question out of here?
I mean, I have lots of questions. Mostly, how can I just stay connected to all these humans? It feels really special, but I think it's the sauce, It's so I have to just let go of the humans and hold the theory and the idea and the structure. I mean, I won't be here next year. So I'm moving and this will be the end of 4 years at Grace. But I never went to camp as a kid. I feel like I just did all my camp from, my 40s now. So I'm a new person now. I'm a camp person now.
The sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this mentoring, like just this, what really means to be mentored by someone. And I don't think mentoring you have to be older than someone to mentor them. It's like this idea that somebody knows a little bit more about something than you know and can show you and wants to show you, and how much joy there is in that and how much that can happen when you have, all the different, there's the leaf blower. Ask him to give us 10 minutes.
It seems fitting in some way. How about this? I'm going to say thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to say thank you for making time for us here. Thank you for talking with us. Thanks for doing so much in this and lots of other environments to make the sauce.
Thank you. This has been so fun.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Amy.
That's perfect.
Thanks for listening to the Detour from Oregon Humanities.
Thanks for listening to Detour from Oregon Humane Society. Thank you for listening to the Director from Oregon Humanities.
Thanks for listening to the Detour from Oregon Humanities.
Anna
McLean. Anna McLean is the producer.
Alexandra Silverton.
Alexandria Sylvester.
Alexandra Sylvester.
Karina Brisky.
Karen Barklisk.
And Ben Waterhouse are the assistant producers.
Adam Davis is the hoster.
Adam Davis is the host.
And that's you?
It is, yeah. You can learn more about Gilbert House Children's Museum, Grace Art Camp, and Oregon Humanities in our show notes and at OregonHumanities.org.
See you next time.
See you next time when you come again. Do you think my parents will hear this? I love you, Mom and Dad.